is going down? It's DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another live stream. Today we are doing the two gigs this weekend. We're doing the aftermath for the two gigs, and all I can say is what an amazing weekend it's been. It's been a really fun, positive weekend. It's been another weekend that has just kind of really just made me realize how much I absolutely love doing the things that I do. Whether that be DJing, whether that be production. And it's been really fun. It's like really made me want to do more projects on FL. It's made me just want to go and smash more sets in because I've really enjoyed the vibe of the weekend. So sit back, buckle up, get yourself some liquid refreshments like I have. Apart from I've nearly drank my tropical crush from Freeway, and yeah, enjoy the aftermaths because it's going to be good. Well, it's going to be all right. Well, yeah, good, yeah. Well, I'm saying that you might find it different. You might not enjoy it at all. You might just think, you ramble on these, Noble. What the hell do you do them for? I do them because it's something different. I don't really hear of like DJs that kind of like come live and give their like almost like their little review of kind of how their gigs went. You do sometimes see people like, they put a little video up or a little post and they might say a couple of words, but I think I do something a little bit, a little bit different, and do something a little bit unique with these, even if I do ramble on, but that is just who I am. So this weekend we had two bookings. So on Friday we had Ultimate Bounce in Scunthorpe, and it was absolutely really good to go back to the light nightclub. My good friend Nelly came over for this one. I sort of give him the opportunity to play at this event and play in the second room. And it was really good to have Nelly come up. And Nelly came up and chilled at mine for a little bit, and we had a little bit of a jam, and had a little bit of a look on FL Studio and stuff. And it was a really good vibe to see. It was a really good vibe to be among that, and have him come up, and that was really good. And then we went over to the event, and the Light nightclub has received a few changes. There's a different DJ booth up there now, so the DJ booth's a little bit different there now. Big shout to IE Media, massive respect. We need a link up soon, definitely. Yeah, the DJ booth has all changed. They've kind of built this new DJ booth, and it was kind of really cool. It was like it was different, and it felt different going back there this time to what it was like when I used to go and like gig there, like back in 2021 and sort of through 2022. But it was still, nevertheless, it was still a really fun vibe, and I'm really obviously grateful that I got the opportunity to go back there. Unfortunately, there wasn't really too much of a crowd. It was a little bit of a quiet event, but it was still a good vibe. I still had a really, really good time. I still enjoyed my set. I played lots of new music, some new stuff from myself, and I played one track in particular, and it's not often like I like a lot. I like a lot of music. So normally a lot of tracks come out, and 9 times out of 10 I'll like them. And and if it's something I really like, then I'll just I'll have it in my set, or I'll have it, I'll buy it, and then if ever I do want to play it, it's there and I'll play it. However, two friends of mine collaborated and did a remix of Lovers in a Past Life from, obviously, vocals from Rag and Bone Man. And this remix that they tackled, like, it has just hit me. And like I do, you know, and it's not very often I'll shout from the rooftop about tracks. Like I say, I normally like tracks, you know, and I'll buy tracks, and you know, this is good, you know, that is it. But now and again, someone will come along and they'll tackle a track, or they'll do a remix of a track, or they'll do something original, and they'll just absolutely blow it out of the water. They'll just absolutely smash it. And this Lovers in a Past Life has been on my radar for a long time. So when they made the track, they put a little preview up on Facebook, as you know a lot of people do. I do it myself. You know, and this was before there was like any form of release date planned, and I liked it back then. And for weeks on end, I was going back to that Facebook video to listen to the preview. And then the post come out about the release date, and I got the release date wrong. And I was browsing on the stores thinking, where's this track? Where's this track? Like, it hadn't come on the store. To the point where I was actually going to go and message my mate and say, look, you know, I thought your tune was out today, it's not showing up on the store. To then I realised that it was actually coming out the following week. So I've been following like the whole process of the song. And then it came out on Thursday, which was just in time for me to be able to play it on Friday. And it felt good. It felt good. So Tyndall and Owen NRG, Owen NRG is absolutely smashing it. They both are. They played at the mighty Pure in Wigan yesterday, which was really good to see. So yeah, their track came out in time. They gave it like a really filthy, you know, really, it's a filthy bounce track. It's not your just normal average donk tune. Like, it's got a filthy drop. It's almost like, it almost kind of feels like it's a little, almost like a little bit Russian bounce, but it's not fully Russian bounce, but it's just got like a bit of a heavier donk on it, and it does some like really weird twisted sounds in it, and it's just a really good track. So I proper buzzed, and you know, I wanted to play it, so I did. And then you know, besides my set, did a little bit of mic duties, and you know, caught some of the other sets and just had a little bit of a fun time. And I think we left somewhere around 1:10, because you know, Nelly, who came up, and you know, he come to my house and then drove us to the event, blah blah blah. And you know, he had to get back, and he had a good like 2-3 hour drive. We was gonna leave at 3 originally, and then he had to get back for whatever reason, and then I thought, well, I'm gigging the next day anyway, so I just thought, you know what, like, I'm just gonna, you know, yeah, let's leave just after 1, like, that's cool with me. So we left about 10 past, got some food, and then we just sort of, you know, we headed home. And you know, before you know it, I was tucked up in bed, and it was like it never happened. But it did happen. So massive shout to Jamie Gillo for booking me. You know, obviously appreciate the booking, appreciate the opportunity to play. And then we move on to Saturday, which Saturday was, you know, and this is no offences to Jamie, but just for various reasons, personal reasons of my own, this was a gig that I was really looking forward to, like more than the one on Friday. Like, it was something for me. It like where I was playing on Saturday, it kind of holds like not the venue itself, but like the town I was in, and it holds a special place in my heart. And I kind of felt like I needed to go back there. Almost in some sense, it was kind of like I needed to go back and prove something, and I think to a fair degree, I think I did. But it was, you know, it's really hard to explain, because I don't like to go around like proving points and blowing smoke up myself. But I got booked, so we was booked in Driffield. Now Driffield is the town where I grew up. So Driffield was the town. Like, I was born just outside of Hull, but I lived in Driffield all my life, and Driffield is only about 21 miles away from Hull. or something like that. So Driffield, like I say, I grew up there all my life, and it was where my music career started. And when I very first started DJing, before I took to MCing, so if IE Media still here, you'll remember, because I touched about this on the podcast. Yes, when I attempted DJing sort of around 10 years ago, and then I gave up because I was getting a bit of bullying, and I got booked for a birthday party that wasn't, it was like there was joking, it was like a pretend booking, but they made me believe it was real, that kind of stuff. And then I started with the whole MCing, and everybody doubted, and everybody said, like, you're not going to do this and you're not going to go far. And then I kind of just went like, F you. And then sort of 2020, I decided, what, like, my music is, I don't want to say taking off, because again, I don't blow smoke up my own, my own backside, but I was getting more opportunities within my music career, and I was getting the opportunity to do, a few bookings, and I was meeting some friends that were also DJs and musicians themselves. So it was kind of like, for me, it felt like the right time to move. And then again, when I moved, people, they slated, and yeah, like, I didn't know, like, specifically, like, at the time, like, who or what, but I heard, like, on the grapevine that people were saying, like, he's not gonna last 2 minutes, and he'll be moving back to drift, and he's a drift boy for life, and and all this. And then what is it now, like, nearly 3, 4, 5 years on, and like, I'm living in Hull. I'm now in my own place. I've got a job and I'm happy. So it was kind of like, proving people wrong. But like, I have nothing against the town. I have nothing against some of the people there. And I don't know exactly, like, at the time, like, who was saying what, like, who's slating, who's bitching, kind of thing. So I've got no beef with anybody as such, but I just know, like, that, there's among, like, negative people who didn't like the fact I was doing well, and kind of, thought, like, oh, it's not going to last, he's not going to do well for long, kind of thing, and that kind of thing. So to go back there and do a gig and kind of show people, like, this is what I'm doing now, because a lot, well, hardly anybody, I don't think anybody from Driffield, like, ever comes to, like, a gig that I'm playing at. So, like, when I'm doing something out of town, nobody ever comes. Nobody ever comes and supports when I put, like, I'm working on a tune online, and I put a preview of the track up. No one likes or comments on it. And then when I, if I'm doing, like, a live stream on Facebook, like, no one really, hardly from Driffield, like ever locks in, if I'm live on the decks, kind of thing. So, to kind of go back and kind of show people, look, this is what I'm doing now. It was kind of a good thing. And the person way back who said, like, do my birthday party, and and never actually wanted me, was actually there that night. That person was actually there, and I don't know, like, to them, I don't know if they'll remember, because, like, to them, I think it was just a bit of a joke, and it was nothing. And I don't think at the time they realised how much it actually, like how kind of, like, how kind of offended I got by it, and how I took it to heart, when they kind of thought it was just, just a little bit of banter, just a bit of messing about. But they were actually there, and they were actually sat quite close to where I was DJing as well. So that was, like, really sort of like, they kind of got to witness, me sort of in full action. And of course, they were all nice and pie, they were all nice as pie, let me know, where you're gigging, and, I'll have to come, and, blah, blah, blah. But, it was good to see them nevertheless, like I say, it was 10 years ago, but it was just nice. So, like I say, it was, to go back there, my hometown, and be able to show my hometown what I'm doing now, was like a really good thing. And it was nice to see people actually come out in force for it as well. you know, there was some old friends that came out for it. And more importantly, there was some relatives, some cousins, and some aunties that came out for it. So that was a good thing, you know. That was really good to see. And there was you know, quite a bit of talk before it was happening. Like, you know, like I went to Driffield last weekend just to visit the grandparents, and went to get fish and chips for them, and stuff like that, and just like, you know, got, you know, people like at the chippy like, oh, you know, when is it you come into the book, and you know, blah blah blah, oh, you know, we're gonna come to that, and then do you know what I mean? And you know, and then there was some people texting me this week, and then I got into Driffield yesterday, and I'm walking uptown, and someone comes out of one of the other pubs and says, you know, what time you in the book tonight, and you know, what time you starting. You know, it was a really good thing. It was good to see that there was interest and people was quite buzzed for it, so that was really good. And then of course, you know, the event itself happened. Which I don't think personally it really could have gone. The only thing, if I had to really criticise anything about the event, and this is nothing to do with the book, this is nothing to do with the pub, if anything, it was me. I just wish I had a little bit of a better sound system. So I've got my PA speakers, and sadly they're on the way out. You know, they've been dropped. You know, I've had them for nearly 10 years, I believe it or not. So I think I got them. I think I think 2018 was when I got them. So I've had them a good 6 years or something like that, 6 7 years maybe. I can't remember exactly. It might have been 2017 when I got them. So yes, I think it's been about 7 years since I got the speakers. And they've been through a lot. They've been moved a lot. They've done quite a few different bookings. And yesterday, I just kind of felt like the sound wasn't the best. Wasn't horrible, but it sounded a little bit distorted at times, and it sounded like, you know, when there was a lot of power going into them, it was just like they were getting sort of to that point now where they're struggling to handle the sound, and one of my wires that goes from one speaker to the other is just starting to play up a little bit, and it's just not working to its full potential. And sometimes if you knock the lead, then it doesn't, you know, it like cuts out and one of the speakers loses sound. So it was just a little bit, you know, like the system could have been a bit better, but that's obviously something from my end. You know, where I think, you know what, I just need to like get some new PA speakers. And I think that's definitely what I need to do. Like, especially if I'm gonna do these kind of like in a pub, kind of all night kind of things. And this is what I'm kind of thinking about doing as well. So I'm thinking about putting together a little bit of a sort of like DJ Ash Noble, the all night, the tour, and kind of like going to like different venues, so different little pubs around like the area. So like we hit up Hull, we hit up Beverley, we go to places like Brid, you know, we maybe even go as far as Scarborough, but you know, the aim is to kind of keep it sort of like as local as we can. And then we do these nights where it's like clubland and bounce all night. So essentially, like, I advertise, I offer it out to the venues. So like venues sort of like within the area, they're available to book me. So they can like get in touch, like if they, you know, and basically we put like a little bit of a, I mean, if you want to call it like a pub land, so we call it like pub land. And it's just essentially like DJ Ash Noble all night long, and I'll come and do like all night of, you know, like bounce and you know, like bounce and clubland and stuff like that. But I might, you know, offer it to a little bit of a wider variety, so like out, you know, house music as well. You know, maybe a bit of trance and stuff, and kind of just cover like a few different genres, but keeping it sort of, you know, do you want kind of like a club rave at your pub? So not kind of like, you know, will you play 80s and will you play Motown? You know, like the proper, like, you know, do you want, you know, will you play house music and will you play dance music and bounce music and clubland and trance and, you know, will you do that kind of, you know, that kind of thing, and then kind of like offer out this tour and people can, you know, like different venues can book. And go like from, you know, a certain time to their closing time. So that'd be like a really cool thing. But anyway, so back to the event at Driffield. So it went really well, really really well. So towards like at the beginning of the event, or you know when it started, I got there about somewhere probably about 20 past 8, something like that. We set off about quarter past. You know, like to go to these places early and you know and get set up. Um, and yeah, so we went there and got set up, and then you know, obviously you know got ready and you know set off going around 9, and yeah, it was really busy. So when I got there at quarter past 8, there was people already sat there with you know with people with glow sticks and stuff and like flashy things, which was really good to see, and it was a really good vibe. So as soon as I started, like when I arrived, you know, people just all sat down. There's a bit of like music on in the background, just a little bit of like some, you know, just whatever. I can't really remember what it was, but you know, it wasn't like any form of, you know, really like just more like commercial, you know, stuff. Really, just playing sort of quietly in the background. There was some stuff on you know on the tellies and stuff in the pub, and people just sort of sat talking really. The pub was quite busy when I arrived, like I say, and then as soon as you know the woman said, right, you know, you're ready, right, we'll dip the music, and then you know I started. You know, playing the clubland, everybody, you know, people just started standing up, and it was just like instantly, they knew what the first track was, and they were singing, and then it just went on from there. And then a little bit later on in the, well, quite a bit later on in the night, sort of 12, 1, it kind of started to quieten down a bit, and people like you know were starting to you know just either go home, or they were a little bit sort of wrecked, or some people went on to maybe another pub or something, which you know it's not like a rave. You haven't bought a ticket. It's just you know it's a bit of music in the pub, so people are free to leave and come as they go. So it did quieten down, and then towards the end, you know, there was like, you know, it got to the point where there was like next to nobody there, but that was kind of like half an hour before I finished. But you know, for the majority of the night, we had the place rocking. I put some pictures up on Facebook. It was absolutely heaving. I didn't take many videos. So I think I got one short video. I was playing a track, and you know, there was just a moment, and there was quite a few people like on the dance floor and singing, and I just caught this little moment. And then the pub itself, they actually went live on Facebook and you know filmed like you know the Clubland nights in full swing, and it was quite heaving at that point. But the video's not the best. Like you've got, I know the person is, but you've got some clown like who just straight up looks into the camera and goes, "Is it a video?" And I just think like, you absolute fucking clown. You know, you know, like I'm not being funny, but like a member of staff at a pub isn't just going to randomly take a picture of a punter, are they? You know? I just thought, oh, because, you know, if it wasn't for that, like, it wouldn't have been like half a bad video. Like, I still shared it, but I just thought, like, do you know what? Like, it didn't give me a good advertisement when he's like monging about, like, is it a video? You know, and then of course you get the general like you know, the pubs put it up, and you know, you get the general banter in the comments where they've spotted somebody who they know on the dance floor, and you know, they start bantering about, you know, somebody dancing in the video, and you know, and then someone put "Go on Ash," and you know, which was nice, you know, like a supportive comment. Um, so you know, it was a really good vibe. I've got to admit, towards the end, like I wasn't getting bored, but I was kind of like almost like wondering what to play next. Where kind of like earlier on, I had like all these tunes that I wanted to play. I had all these like, you know, like, and when I was at home, I was, you know, like, well, when I was at my nan's earlier that day, I was thinking like, right, you know, I want to drop this tune, and I want to play that tune, and I want to do this tune, and you know, and all of that. And then it was just kind of like, you know, when it got later on the night, I got to the point where I was kind of thinking like, you know, like I don't know what to play now. Like, well, you know, shall I play this? Shall I play that? So it was really good. It was really good. Sing Scarborough Beach. I am not singing Scarborough Beach. The amount of people, right, and this is no word of a lie, the amount of people that ask me to sing Scarborough Beach, you know, like the amount of people that ask me to sing Scarborough Beach, like it does matter. Like I don't get what like I don't know how many times I say it online. I don't know how many times like I tell people I do not like Scarborough Beach. It was a song that I regretted doing. Like I hate it. I don't like it. I hate it with a passion. I wish I'd never recorded it. I wish it was something that you know, I wish it was something I'd never done. You know, like I don't know how clearer I can make it than that. Like to the point where I'm actually quite tempted just to go onto my channel and delete that video because I am that sick of it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I understand it from like the people's point of view who found it funny, and people, you know, obviously like it. But for me, like I mean, for starters, you know, it's a parody of the Old Town Road. Old Town Road is a shit song, and I'm sorry if people like that style of music. Then I'm sorry, you know. I'm a big, you know, I'm a big believer in, you know, let people enjoy the type of music they like. But I do not like that style of music for starters. That whatever that drill trap, whatever type of instrumental you want to call it, that type of beat, I hate it with a passion. I hate it. The vocals, Old Town Road, just absolutely shocking, right? The only reason I did a parody of it at the time was because I knew the track was blowing up. So I knew the track was blowing up, so I knew and other people was doing a parody for it. So I knew obviously if I did a parody of it that it would do well because the song's doing well in itself. But I didn't expect it would blow up in, you know, in the way it did. Like I knew it was going to do well. That was the reason why I did it. Um, you know, um, you know, but like I just didn't expect it to blow up the way it did. And the thing about it is what I was doing back then is not what I'm doing now, and this is what people don't understand. So that was like that was the old me. So it's kind of in a way like going up to like a recovering alcoholic and then asking them to, you know, like, oh, go on, have a drink. That's what it's like, you know, like that person used to drink, that's who that person used to be, but they're not that person anymore. Whereas me, it's like the same thing. So like when I used to do them kind of daft stupid tracks, and I used to spit them daft stupid lyrics, that's not me anymore. You know, that, you know, I'm like the person who's like changed, I've recovered from doing that kind of thing. Now I do different things. You know, now I make, you know, now I write proper meaningful songs. I remix electronic music. You know, I DJ. You know, I'm a different person doing different things. But obviously, like I understand because of how you know how well the track did, how many views it got. People are gonna genuinely ask me to sing it, but you know, I get sick of people asking. Like, no word of a lie. It's like changed the record. Live a bit, fella. It's funny. You got to embrace. I know. I understand that. I understand that, but like, just understand that I've changed. Like you can go on my YouTube and you can watch the video. You can go on the countless accounts that have put that video up and you can watch it. You know, I've got no issues with people doing that. But I ain't gonna come on lives. I ain't gonna stand on the street and start doing that track just because people want me to do it. Like that. That's not. It's not what's gonna happen. I ain't gonna turn up at festivals and then go on the mic and perform it. Like, you know, I go and do the shit that I'm doing now because that's relevant to me. uh, but there you go. But anyway, so we had a good weekend. Both gigs, absolutely wicked. So we've got a couple of weeks off now. No gigs in the diary for a little while now. So we've got a little bit of time to recharge. Something will more than likely come in because it normally does. Like, I'll end up going and playing somewhere or doing something. Do you know what I mean? Could be your goodbye. So gee, well, I'm gigging in Scarborough in August the 3rd. I'm MCing in Scarborough. So more than likely, people will want me to do it there. You know, because I'm in the town that I wrote the song about. Another thing that always baffled me as well is the amount of people that actually think I'm from Scarborough. Like, the amount of people that actually thought I lived in Scarborough. Even though, like, and a lot of the people, like, they have me as a friend on Facebook. And, like, you go onto my profile and it clearly says, like, on my profile that I live in Hull. And then it says that I'm from Driffield. Like, there is nothing there whatsoever that states that I live in Scarborough, and yet people are like, you know, oh, you from Scarborough? You live in Scarborough, don't you? You know. But that's the chance to give the song the goodbye. I really don't think it is, because the song's never gonna go away, is it? Like, it's always gonna be there. It's just obviously, you know, it's just, you know, it was a little daft parody. You know, if I got the chance to go live at Glastonbury, it's not something like I'd go up on the mic and go, I'm gonna take my donkey to the Scarborough Beach. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna happen, you know. Whereas, like, the meaningful stuff that I write, tracks with Jigger Man, you know, they're completely different. So there we go. But anyway, so we had a good weekend. 2 gigs down and done, smashed in. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share, and we'll see you soon. And what do you hear? I hear Scarborough, so it's more funny. I can understand.